He has blood on his hands. And when some of these people from either China or Russia or Iran or Syria or Yemen or Egypt or Afghanistan or Kazakhstan, one of those terrorist cells, which I'm pretty certain are here. I hope I'm wrong, but I don't think I am.
They are. When they tragically are. And the FBI is telling us they're here.
So it's a matter of when, not if.
Yes.
And how
tragically,
sad is that? Yeah, well, there'll be a lot of dead Americans, and they'll have blood on their hands.
Oh, yeah, no, you can tell from their body language, they would hate for that to happen. They don't want a terror attack on Biden's watch. No, think of the Americans. They're salivating for it. They're hoping for it. And they're also, by the way, never forget, assisting in it happening, were it to happen. Individual, criminal acts, terror attacks. If they actually think that our supposedly open border is leading to those things, maybe they could stop reform at the border that even they say would help to get those numbers down. And even they admit in that clip would get those numbers down, which Ted Cruz can't help but do.
This immigration order that's coming tomorrow. Joe Biden's going to stand up and say, we're securing the border. And you know what? I'm going to predict in the next 5 months, we're actually going to see the border numbers go down a little bit. Now, don't be deceived by that. It's just like the gasoline prices going down a little bit. They're doing this right before the election. They're doing it so the useful idiots in the corporate media will say, gosh, Biden solved the problem. Nothing else to worry about here. It is entirely fake.
That is hilarious. First of all, it's not entirely fake. You described a process wherein there's a problem. He does something to fix it. It actually does fix it. And that's fake? I don't understand exactly what. Why would that be fake? He would be doing exactly what you say you want Trump to do. This whole shutting down the border thing, this isn't some sort of progressive dream proposal. AOC isn't advocating for this. Republicans have been advocating for this for literally years. And that follows in a long line of Joe Biden from day one doing at the border virtually everything that the Republicans ask for and has never gotten any credit for it. He continued many of the Trump border policies a couple years into his first term. They tried to pass a border bill that was crafted to the desires of the right, which Ted Cruz voted multiple times to kill. And now, because he can't get anything through Congress, which wants the border to be open so they can point to the chaos and say, thus we need Donald Trump. Instead, he's going the route of an executive order and doing the exact things that they're saying they want Trump to do. Except when Biden does it, it's all of a sudden a problem. Again, it's enough to make you think they want chaos, they want crime, they want the crossings. And I'll also point out, by the way, he says that the numbers going down as a result of a change at the border would be fake. The numbers are already 30% less than they were a year ago. I know if you're a Fox viewer, that's got to blow your mind because you damn sure didn't hear it on Fox, but it's true. The number of border crossings has come down significantly from a year ago, even in the absence of legislation and executive orders. Now, Biden, again, I don't like the path he's going down. I don't agree with what he's going to do, but conservatives do as long as you tell them it's a Republican that's doing it. Sharon, what do you think of this?
The most unpatriotic thing, and Ted Cruz has said a lot. He actually wants America to suffer hurt, crime, even if he's basing it on his old tropes and stereotypes. He wants some kind of chaos and perhaps even terrorism. Is the most unpatriotic thing I've ever heard. This president has acted with this executive order. Trump would call it, dictatorship, which I would think he would like, to get a problem under control. And he's adopted their blueprint almost. I mean, hook, line, and sinker here, minus, kids in cages. And you're right, the numbers have been going down. This will make them go down even further. I, like you, don't like this direction, but it is what it is. Either you were for it and now you're not because of political reasons, or you were never for it. Which is it? I think we know in Ted Cruz's case and some others. How's Greg Abbott? He's been pretty quiet.
Yeah, no, I think he actually talked to Sean Hannity yesterday, and they again implied that there is a crisis that needs to be solved, but don't let Biden do anything to solve it. Yeah, 100%. Like, I'm not shocked that Joe Biden is going in this direction on the border. I never considered him a progressive in general, let alone when it comes to the border, because I know his history. The right is being very weird about it, though. And really fast, again, the proclamation that he signed, this executive order, declared that asylum rights should be suspended whenever migration surged past a certain number. And hey, what do you know? They set that threshold at lower than it already is right now, which means instantly. That's what I don't like about it. Like, you're gonna help, I guess, with crossings, but at what cost? A cost that a lot of progressives don't want to be paid. But again, the right supposedly always does. Now, Biden, I guess, is worried about progressives being angry about this, so he's trying to nuance it. He says, I will never demonize immigrants. I'll never refer to immigrants as poisoning the blood of a country. And further, I'll never separate children from their families at the border. That remains to be seen. I will not ban people from this country because of their religious beliefs. So I believe some of that, I guess, although some claims of asylum are about religious persecution. So are you not kind of doing that? And sure, you won't use the rhetoric, but I hate the rhetoric from Trump, both objectively and also because it signals what he's going to do. If you're still going to do those things, that's not much better than just doing the things and having the rhetoric. So again, I know what he's trying to accomplish here. And he's not going to get the credit from the right that I think he envisions. Now, that said, I want to turn to sort of the opposite side of this issue, which is another interaction on Fox, but one in which a Republican actually admits why the border is in the state that it's in.
I know you're not trying to zing your colleagues, but it's your colleagues in your party, sir, who torpedoed this, who didn't get the facts right on what you just outlined was in that measure. They killed it. Ironically, not Democrats.
Right. It was, and it was painful to be able to watch it. It got stirred up in all the presidential politics, and several of my colleagues started looking for ways after President Trump said, don't fix anything during the presidential election. It's the single biggest issue during the election. Don't resolve this. We'll resolve it next year. Quite a few of my colleagues backed up, looked for a reason to be able to shoot against it, and then walked away. I get that. That's a decision everybody makes in it. My issue is if we're pursuing everything, we very often end up with nothing. If we're pursuing someone coming later to fix it, later seems to never come. When we have a moment to fix things, we should fix as many things as we can then come back later and fix the rest.
That's on Donald Trump, Senator.
That again, he's got an office that he's running for. He's got a campaign that he's running. I'm already in office. I've got a responsibility to be able to carry on this.
That Fox host's name eludes me, Sharon. Maybe you remember it, but
Is that Cavuto?
That's actually,
I don't know.
Yeah, Cavuto. I think you're right. That was actually kind of shocking to hear. Him being totally willing to, like, everything he said was accurate. Everything he said was true, and thus very surprising to hear it on Fox News. That's why they killed the bill. That's 100%. That is the core of the hypocrisy. And he admitted it, and Lankford also admitted it. And you love to see it. I hope that it gets through to some conservatives. Do you think there's any chance of that? It was on Fox News.
No, and something tells me Cavuto's going to go on the vacation like O'Reilly did and never come back. I mean, this can't continue. We're 5 months out. So, but frustrated. And you remember because the congressman was seated right there and they had a spotlight on him during the State of the Union address when Joe Biden talked about it in the border. And he confirmed it right there too. He said, he mouthed the words, it's true, I believe. So they can tell the truth occasionally, okay? But I wouldn't look for this to be a systemic thing. It's just in that moment, a flash in time. It's like a meteor that just darts by and then before you know it, it's gone. And I believe this is the same kind of thing. Cavuto will be back to mostly joining his colleagues if he's not on that permanent vacation.
Well, look, we are always looking for opportunities to give credit. Members make a difference here at TYT. You help make the show happen, and we see you in the chat with your loyalty badge. Click the join button to become a member today.